10 a.m. or something like that, or 11 a.m. around that. And I was checking on your guys' messages on Discord, and I saw one of the most important posts that was like shared during this beginning of 2026. The very first post that I saw once I was waking up was this one in particular. I think pretty much most of you have seen it at this point, which is when they announced the version 11.0 for Splatoon 3. I specifically saw this, and I was very excited by the type of wording that they were using, because as it states here, they said that we're gonna add new features to battles, and that we should stay tuned for like new deeds and all that. Then later on, I saw this specific one of like of Japanese, of like the Japanese account, and like the funny thing about this is like the language that they're using here is like more formal, and even like it could be interpreted different ways, or at least in my eyes it kind of is like that, because like in this post, once you translate it, it says that there's gonna be balance changes and modifications to some systems related to battles. You guys tell me if I'm the only one that feels like this, but like when they say new features added to battles, to me this sounds like they are gonna add like new mechanics or new ways to play like the ranked modes or stuff like that, like something major that will actually make the game feel different, you know? Whereas these modifications to some systems related to battles sounds like they might change just like the matchmaking of the game, or the way that like some game modes just work in terms of like rules or whatever. Like they might, like for instance, some people brought up like the fact that they might make clams, instead of being 8 clams to make a power clam, 10, you know what I mean? So like stuff like that, like it could be just that, like stuff like that. So like again, it's a typical situation where like Nintendo chooses very weird wordings in their different like languages. Also, something very worth noting that I just forgot to mention from the European version. This is the only post from the 3 official posts of Nintendo or like Splatoon that mentions that there will not be new kits included in this update. It's kind of like a bummer in my opinion, because like it's been such a long while. Like if we don't count the fact that they added just new kits on like on the version 10.0, like it's been a while that there has, like it is very well known that there has been weapons that haven't had like their third kit from like a very long while. And like I'm pretty sure some people would like to have, I don't know, like a third kit for Slosher or for Clash Blaster or for Roller, you know, like those kind of weapons. It is a bummer, but like the way that this is worded makes me feel that the new features that they're gonna add might be good enough to compensate the fact that there's not gonna be new kits, because it might even interfere with the new balancing that will be added to the game, or like the new features that will be added to the game that will make like adding like new kits on top of it like a complete chaos. And like if you don't know really what I mean by this, like I think I should like explain just briefly for people that who like never heard it before, like how this notation of versions work. Ever since the release of Splatoon 3, which it was this version, the 1.1.0, because this one was the one from like when the test fire was announced, it has always worked like this, where like the third decimal is just for like bug fixes or like hot fixes that they do on the game that are just like to fix things quickly that could break the game in the long run, like fixes, like fix an issue for connection errors, or like weapons doing weird things or stuff like that, right? It has always been like this. Then for the second decimal, this is where they sometimes end up doing things like major like changes on like weapons, and in terms of like points for specials, or like the balancing of the game and things like that. So naturally, when then this number is the one that is being changed, it means like they're gonna be at most weapon changes, or like even changes on like, you know, like the meta and things like that, right? But when it comes to the first decimal, or like the main number here, like for instance the version 2, they usually were doing this for like the major updates that were given to us every season or every 3 months, when they were adding things like a new catalog with like new gear, new titles, new emotes, like new completely new things were just like being added on top of the game. Like even and like out and like on top of that, they were like changing things like weapons. They were even adding some kits too, and even they were adding stages or changing like stages how they work. And it was like this all the way to like the update number 9, which was released on like 29 August. In this is the very first version that they added to the game where like there was not such thing as like a season change. They just simply like adjusted some weapons. This is where like actually Squeezer died and Range Blaster, and they changed some like specials and all those things, but like they were not like new things that were like visually new in the game, right? Like the game looked the same. It was just like some weapons work differently. Like there were no like new gear, new banners, like the usual thing that you will expect from like seasonal stuff, until they released the version 10.0, which was like actually like a very different shake of things. Because in this update, like they kind of did this like the thing that you would expect from like seasons, which is like they added like a bunch of new weapons. They added like this is where they added Urchin and like changes on like the balancing. So this kind of felt like a new season to an extent, but it still kind of was lacking like new stuff, like new gear or like new mechanics or whatever. With that in mind, just by the fact that not only they are using the 11 notation to refer to this as like the new version that is going to be implemented, they're also making a lot of emphasis on like the added new features that are going to be on the game. And also on top of that, this is the very first update that I think they announced very prior to when it's actually about to be released. It's going to be like released on January 29th. January 29th is going to happen like in more than 2 weeks, bro. This is the very first time in this game's history that they announced like a patch this early. So like, is there a reason to do this? In my opinion, it might be that they are preparing something quite big. And like, again, I should not be like this excited, but like I feel like if they are doing it in this way, there must be a reason for it. Again, the whole idea of them using this language of like saying modifications to some systems related to battles and like new features and all that thing makes me believe that maybe Splatoon 3 is going to be played somewhat different in some aspects. I don't know if like I'm going crazy. I don't know if this is too much. I wanna kind of hear what you guys think after all of this. I think if they wanted to make a big announcement, then yeah, this looks like it. I don't think you are crazy. Like people will freaking riot if this turned to be just a regular update. Like I don't think Nintendo is such a troll to do that. Yeah, if it was just that, like just simple like a balancing thing plus like I don't know, like a new added feature like the mouse control things for the Switch 2. They will just simply set that and it will be released like 2 days after the announcement, not like 2 weeks, bro. So I think it will be big, bro. I think it will be big. They're gonna add like Battle Royale mode. Imagine, bro. Yes, let's go.